Most of our suffering is inflicted pain. It's mental anguish. So the good news is that it's up to you. It's up to me. The bad news is you can't blame it on anyone else anymore. So there's a biblical passage that says we struggle not against flesh and blood, but against principles and principalities. And the idea is that nobody's doing anything wrong. It's our interpretation of what's happening that is the real problem. It creates the conflict on the inside. So I'm going to give you two examples. I was working with somebody a couple months ago, and he said he wasn't sleeping well because his wife was upset with him over something and wasn't allowing him to sleep in the bed. And so we started to talk about how he was feeling. And we got to the point, I asked him, well, when you travel for work and you travel alone, how do you sleep in the hotel room? He said, I sleep great. I said, but you're sleeping by yourself. He said, yes. And then he came to realize that he really didn't mind sleeping by himself, that he was upset because he felt like they should be sleeping together because they're married. They slept together for so many years, and now all of a sudden for a couple nights they're in different beds. And it was like a light bulb went off. He was like, man, there's nothing wrong with sleeping in the other bed. It's just, I'm literally just upset because my mind tells me that I should be sleeping in the same bed with her. A second example, I was working with somebody just a couple of days ago who was describing challenges with her roommate. And she was telling me how hard it is to be with her. And one of the big offenses, I'm going to use that term, just offense, it's an offense in the perspective of the person I was talking with, that the roommate would come in the house and walk straight to her room and not say hello. And so the person I'm speaking with would become flustered and get very upset with this. And she said, I'm so upset. I'm upset all day long because she came in and she didn't say hi. And then, I asked her, well, why do you need her to say hi to you? And she said, well, I don't. But she started to see that the person not saying hello to her was putting her in a state of upset. And personally, I was thinking, wow, how nice to have a roommate that you're sharing costs with that doesn't bother you. They come in and they just walk upstairs and they leave you alone. They're not bothering you. But from her perspective, she had an idea, a concept in her head that when you see somebody, you have to look at them and say hi. And so this is what she was really grappling with. We started to talk further. I said, well, what does this person do? Oh, she's a cashier at the zoo. So all day long, this person is having to greet people and say hello and smile. I said, maybe she's just tired at the end of the day. And honestly, she doesn't have a smile and a hello left. And if she did, it would just be phony anyhow. What if we were able to remove the ideas that create the offense? So when a person changes lanes in front of me and doesn't use his turn signal, what if I didn't deem it an offense? What if in my mind I didn't say, oh my God, he should have used his turn signal, and then go on all day and I have to tell people about it all day long? What if we could let go of all of these ideas, concepts, and beliefs that are keeping us from experiencing peace within? Something to think about. So I have a thought about how to illustrate this. And I don't know if I've done a good job here or not. Perhaps use this as an opportunity to just pay attention throughout the day. And the exercise would be pay attention throughout the day, the things that might frustrate you, or quite frankly, the things that might make you feel good, right? Because if something makes you feel good, it can make you feel bad on the flip side. I always say, like, I have a lot of friends who surf, and they say, oh my God, that was the best surf ever today. And half of them, I know that all that's going to mean is the next day, they're just going to say, oh, it wasn't as good as yesterday, right? So it's our beliefs that are the setup for the upset. What if we didn't deem the things that happen as offensive? What if we could just settle in and let things happen and realize that everything's a process? Things are just happening. People are saying things, people are doing things. What if we didn't deem it as offensive? If we don't like it, we can turn around and walk the other way. Without the mental chatter, because the mental chatter, as we're attacking somebody else with some sort of emotion, we're actually feeling that on the inside. This was the concept in the experiencing self-love chat, is that when we're angry at someone, we feel the anger on our inside, and we're creating our own suffering. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know if this makes sense.